different ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's okay with you, like I said, we'll just do a quick walk around the outside, look at all the ins and outs.
We want to see all the ins and outs.
There you go. Along the way, if you guys have any questions or notice something that's different from one of the other coaches, feel free to ask away. Okay? Right by the door here, we have one of your storage compartments. Okay? You could also do something as far as an exterior TV if you wanted to mount something like that out here. But for the most part, it's really just a storage bay. And then we have some exterior 110. So as long
no 12 volt.
No 12 volt. So as long as 110 is provided, you've got it here. Okay? And I do love those slam lock doors compared to the old trailer ones. All right, now the big one here. Big one is going to have, of course, a bunch of room for storage. We have your central vac. Okay, that's the vacuum there, and all you're really doing, are you familiar with that style?
No.
Okay. It's just a pull off to get to the bag. And we have some styrofoam there. Now, you guys probably have, see, a bunch of extra bags in here. And I'll show you where the hookup is on the inside.
So that's all, is it hooked up now to use, or do the bag?
It is not.
Okay.
So the bag just has to get thrown on. It's just very easy to do.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense? Now your hookups, your accessories for the vacuum are in that box right over there.
This has that below the step.
It does.
Where you sweep to the step.
It does. Okay, and then we have your two awning controls.
So now wait a minute, you can't use the back outside.
No.
Or in here. Okay.
Well, at least not that back. You could have another little one.
Yeah. Okay.
So your two awnings. Okay, you'll be able to extend and retract.
Is that the only place?
No, you're going to be able to do it inside as well. Okay. Now we've got 110, and then satellite and cable. Now those satellite and cable hookups are going to be your outs, if that makes sense. It's not necessarily where you supply cable and satellite to the coach.
Not the in.
It's right. Exactly.
Out.
Exactly. Okay. And then a little bit of a starter package, and I realize you guys are, veterans when it comes to camping. You probably have all of this stuff, but the idea is just if you don't have it, get you through one trip.
Okay.
So we've got a rubber seal conditioner, and that's going to be for your slide out. Okay. So as a matter of fact, we have one over here we can look at.
How about ours?
What's that?
Oh, a slide out.
Yeah. So you know all about that black rubber seal.
Okay. Tell me all about it.
Here it is. Basically, this is just a foam spray for it, and all it does is it prevents cracking in cold temperatures for the rubber. It keeps it soft, running nice and smooth. It's just basically a gasket seal. Okay. So like I said, foam spray twice a year. You don't have to go crazy with it. Each extreme season, you may come out, you'll take your spray, you'll just layer it on. You don't have to wipe it down. It just disintegrates. It seeps in. You may think about leaving the slide out when you've done that, just so you're not running the foam all over the windows and that sort of thing. Okay?
So it dries.
Yes, oh yeah, it seeps into the rubber and then just dries out.
So has that been done?
It has.
It has been.
It has. Not only at the factory, but we do it. And then you're not going to have to worry about that for a while. And like I said, once or twice. Twice would be going safe.
Now, do you do that on top of the slide too?
Yes.
Okay,
all the way around.
Okay.
And you'll find that same steel, same location on the inside. So you can do it both on the inside and on the outside.
Oh, when it pulls in, you can see it.
Right.
And you do it in there too.
Oh yeah, you betcha. Okay, now the other one, that's a silicone.
That's probably important to do.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. Just exactly.
So it slides.
Right, keeps it running nice and smooth. The other one is a silicone lubricant, and that you can use on the coach, anything that moves mechanically. Okay? Be it your arm level bars underneath your slide out. See those bars with your teeth?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to layer those on. Your jack legs, cover those. So anything, like I said, that moves mechanically. And you can do that at the same time as you're doing your rubber seals. Okay? So once or twice a year, go around. Or just take it in and have a full service done and tell them you want everything done. You want the batteries checked. You want everything lubed up. Depending on where you take it, you can always bring it back here for all that type of work, and we always know what to do, and hopefully wherever else you may take it, they would as well. Okay, what else do we have? We have a water pressure regulator for your city water hookup. Okay.
Okay, what is this? What is this
stress to? Do you know? Is there a manual for this?
Oh yeah,
We'll get
you're
that.
gonna find owner's
Okay.
manuals and literature on, literally everything that I cover. You're gonna have weeks of material
Okay.
to read through. As far as this is just pressurizing the water coming from city,
Yeah.
quote unquote. You never know what kind of pressures come in there. So, and of course, when you're on city water, you won't need your water pump to do the pumping
Right.
and pressurizing. So
Right.
that's kind of what this guy does. However, these are set to 40
40
psi.
pounds.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have, I believe you guys are on 50 amp service as far as your power cord goes. Okay, what we've done is we've hooked up a dog bone, which gets us from a 50 to a 30, which is what we're plugged into right now, 30 amps. Okay, now you can go a step further. You can plug your 30 amp into this side and use a 15 regular household receptacle to do things like give the batteries a trickle charge, anything like that.
And does that trickle charge? Can you leave that on indefinitely?
You can. There's pros and cons, like with everything else.
So it doesn't pulse. This one doesn't pulse.
No, it's going to go. It's going to charge,
okay.
and when those batteries are fully charged, it's going to keep charging.
Yeah.
Which
it's
means
not-
they're going to get hot.
Yeah,
And you're going to
it's
start
not-
losing your levels. So what I would do is I would just make sure my batteries have a full charge, and if me personally, want to make sure nothing is happening with my batteries, I unhook them. Period. Because little things, stereos, anything with a clock reading.
Yeah.
Say the coach is in storage, and you've turned everything off.
Yeah.
A clock reading on a stereo is still going to drain that battery.
Yeah.
So just kind of keep that in mind. And when you are using this, say at home, think about power draw as well.
Yeah.
You're trying to power a house on a 15 amp circuit
No.
at this point, and that's going to give
Not
you some
gonna run the
problems.
air conditioner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a waste digester, just to help break up
Okay.
the solids in the black tank. Okay. Of course, a potable water hose for your drinking water. An RV sewer hose. It's a 10-footer with a adapter on the front, which just makes it easier for the dump station. So it's not just a hose laying in there and you hope it stays, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. Okay, and then RV marine specific toilet tissue.
Okay.
Okay? Let's see what's next. Propane. One of your 7 gallons anyway, and the other one will be on the other side. Okay? You've got the regulator right here. This would be the connection. Okay? And then you have the open and shut valve at the top.
Okay.
Okay? And that's just, you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Right is closed, left is open.
Right.
As far as the system will always only run one tank dry at a time.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can kind of decide if you want to have both tanks open at all times, one tank at a time. Again, there's pros and cons to both. If you have one tank at a time, what you're doing at this point is you're giving yourself a point of reference to know how much propane you've used, how long that took you, and how much you've got left. Because now you physically have to come out and turn your other propane tank on.
Okay.
Okay? So you can do it that way. On the other hand, having both tanks open at all times will do things like ensure that you don't wake up freezing if you've had the furnace on overnight and one tank runs dry, because that regulator will switch over to the other. So it's just kind of a
No gauges on it.
no gauges. Unlike the motorhomes, the only way to tell on these how much propane you have is to pull it out and feel how heavy it is.
Yeah.
But they do have some other tricks. Pouring hot water on the tank will give you a freeze line wherever your level is. They make stick-ons.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed reviews about those.
Yeah.
Like I said, pulling them out and feeling how heavy they are is going to give you a good idea.
Yeah.
What size are these?
These are 7s,
7 gallon.
7 gallons.
so you've got 14 total.
That'll last a while.
Yeah. And of course, you're not going to use everything that uses propane every day of the camping trip. So like you said,
Yeah.
it's definitely going to last you. Okay, any questions here?
No. Not at this point. Tom?
Yep.
I'm gonna let you know, Louis, that this morning when we were moving the coach, we gave it a little kiss when whoever moved it, and it damaged the molding a little bit. So what we've done is we've taken the molding off, replaced the entire piece, repainted it, and ordered a whole new section for you. Okay?
A new section of
A
this
whole-
molding?
Yep, the whole thing.
Okay.
And we're gonna have the painter come in and he's gonna match the colors and get that put back on. So what we're just gonna have to do, are you guys local?
We're in Banks, an hour away.
Okay. If you guys can find some time, and when you guys go on your shakedown trip, you may also find little
Sure.
nicks and dings, and who knows, mark all of that stuff down, and if you have some time, bring it on back, we'll take care of it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay?
Do that.
So what we'll do is we'll finish the walk around, and then we'll bring out the awnings to you so you guys can see that.
Okay.
Right, and the generator compartment. Generator slash batteries and hydraulics. Okay, so you've got a Cummins 5500, which is going to do more than, that's more than enough as far as power goes to power everything in the house. Okay, so you guys are good there. Let's take a look here.
You just pulled on that?
Yeah, that's just
Okay.
a pull. All right, we've got start-stop switch here, and I'm sure you've had generators before. If you haven't ran it in a while, it's important to get the fuel to the generator.
Prime it.
Prime it, exactly. You're just going to do that by holding the stop position. The light's going to pop on the button, and then fire on.
Alright.
I can either do that right now or when we get inside.
Do it inside.
Probably
That's
be
fine.
quieter when we get inside. Okay. Then we've got your circuit breakers right here on the side. Oil fill and dipstick. Okay. Dipstick is going to be attached to the cap. And then of course you'll find filters back there as well.
Is that the drain line right there?
The drain line,
Is it underneath?
yes.
Underneath.
Yes. And you also, that's how you're going to get to your oil filters.
Oil filter down
Yes.
there too.
Yes. Now you do have an hour meter, an hour display on the inside with your remote start. So what they say, 60 to 100 hours of usage, you're going to want to start thinking about maintenance, filters, oil, that sort of thing. 60 hours, to be honest, is on the low end. It's kind of like 3,000 miles for a car. You know, it's when your meter says 60 hours, that doesn't mean that you have to get it in right now. It's just when you want to start thinking about it. And then, you know, 80, 100 hours definitely by then you want to have it done. Okay.
Is that 2-cylinder?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we'll fire
They
it on.
don't
when we get
insulate
inside.
that, do they?
No, they don't. Not much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it. That's something.
I know.
That's unreal. I assumed they would do that. I shouldn't assume anything. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
shame on them.
Now, as far as your batteries go, did we put 6 volts in there?
I don't know.
Okay, I believe we did. I believe you're gonna have 2 6 volts in there, and I'll double check with your service advisor. But 6 volts, that's better than your 12 volts anyway. It's gonna give you a much longer life.
That's right.
Regardless, with these deep cycle batteries, like we briefly talked about, you don't ever want those to run dry. Okay? So depending on your usage of 12 volt, or depending on how much you've got the coach plugged in to shore power, the truck, or how much you run the generator, because all of that has an effect on the battery. Using 12 volt, charging it, you're going to want to come out, depending on usage, every couple months and just kind of check your levels, or have somebody do it, either way. Just take a couple of screws up, okay, from the top. The top will lift right up, and then you're looking at the battery. It's going to have the terminals that you're going to open up, just like any.
It's a wet cell.
Yes. Okay. And of course, up here we have the hydraulic system for your jacks, and I believe you might even also have one of the slide outs as in hydraulics, and I'll double check on the brochure as well. Hydraulic fluid reservoir. Okay, and you'll notice that it's halfway down. That's because we're using everything's extended. So whatever's using the hydraulics, it's in the lines. So whenever you come out here and you've got slides out and jacks down and you're seeing that, don't fill it up. Because that will fill up as you close everything back up and bring your jacks up.
So you check the fill once you're hooked up and
Right.
everything's up.
Exactly.
Okay.
And once you do start getting low, any RV dealership, any good RV dealership should have some of that hydraulic fluid. It's going to be either an LCI or HWH. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have? Your battery disconnect. You familiar with that?
But go through it.
It's basically a 12 volt master shutoff. That's what it is.
Shuts everything off.
Shuts everything off. If you were not plugged into shore power and not running your generator, and I flip that off, we lose everything that's 12. Okay. Now, on the Redwoods, some trailers, when you have that in the off position, will still allow a trickle charge to the batteries. So that's important for you to know. And I'll double check on the Redwoods again. It shouldn't. You'd think that they would have thought about that. So when you flip that off, that really nothing is going on with the batteries. However, like I said, on some trailers, you have that off and you're still
You're
supplying.
still
juice.
trickling
Right,
somewhere.
right, exactly. So
We need to find that.
oh yeah.